pre-positioned all of our electric companies to make sure we get the power on. So our teams did a really good job working all night through the storms, and all the roads are passable right now. So knock on wood, we feel really good.
Because the prediction was that Oklahoma City and Tulsa could see more snow from this storm than in the average entire season. Is that what actually came to be?
You know, we did, like Oklahoma City, I just read, we got more in a 24-hour period than we've ever had in the last, I think, like 40 years. So wow. A lot of snow in one day, but it didn't hit the 20 to 2 foot type estimates that they were saying. Ended up being about a foot, different parts in different parts of the state. But, you know, I think preconditioning all the roads with all the salt and all the things that we did, and then having our trucks throughout the states really kept everything passable. And so the road conditions are in decent shape. We got to worry about refreezing because it's going to be very, very cold here for the next week.
Yeah, ice is definitely the scariest thing. As you know, President Trump has been dismantling FEMA and pushing for states like yours to handle more of the disaster preparation and response themselves. What have you heard from your federal partners during this storm? I know that historically, in fact, I first met you going with the former FEMA director to Oklahoma after a tornado, that you worked hand in glove with federal helpers. Is that still the case? Are you getting enough federal support?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Secretary Noem personally called me on her cell just to make sure we didn't need anything, and so they're keeping us updated, doing a really, really good job. But we ultimately believe that the states are closer to the action and understand how to respond to emergencies better than a federal government. So anytime we can do block grants or we can have flexibility in funding, we believe that is the best solution instead of the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. And I think most states agree with that. Most governors do, that, hey, let us handle the issues in New Jersey or Florida or Texas or Oklahoma because we're a little closer to that than the federal government.
Governor, you are also the head of the National Governors Association, so I do want to ask about what's going on in Minnesota. I'm sure you've seen the video, maybe multiple videos, of Alex Preddy being shot and killed by federal Border Patrol agents, the second fatal shooting by federal officials in Minnesota this month. Governor Walz is demanding President Trump stop the crackdown there. Are you comfortable with what the Trump administration is doing in Minnesota?
Well, first off, this is a real tragedy, and I think the death of Americans, what we're seeing on TV, it's causing deep concerns over federal tactics and accountability. Americans don't like what they're seeing right now, but I want to step back for just a second because President Trump was elected to fix immigration issues. And, you know, there was broad agreement that we had to close the border. So the Biden era of 4 years of open border policies was disastrous. So broad agreement, President Trump closed the border, promised to get violent criminals out of our country. And I think everybody agrees with that. But now Americans are asking themselves, what is the end game? What is the solution? And, you know, we believe in federalism and state rights, and nobody likes feds coming into their state. And so what's the goal right now? Is it to deport every single non-U.S. citizen? I don't think that's what Americans want. We have to stop politicizing this. We need real solutions on immigration reform. And I believe that I've got a great solution, that we should give the states the authority to do workforce permits, right?
So are you saying that they should pull out of Minnesota?
Well, I think that the president has to answer that question. He is a deal maker. And he's getting bad advice right now. The president needs to let the American people, what is the solution? How do we bring this to conclusion? And I think only the president can answer that question because it's complicated. We have to enforce federal laws, but we need to know what is the end game. And I don't think it's to deport every single non-U.S. citizen. I think we need employers and employees. If you're not on welfare or government assistance or Medicaid, we need to allow an employer to match up with that workforce. Maybe charge that employer $5,000 that can pay down the national debt and to incentivize them to hire Americans. But if they need that labor, we're overcomplicating this. Other countries have figured this out. Don't give them U.S. citizenship, but if you're going to have an employer-employee relationship, we should be fixing that. instead of politicizing this. And right now, just there's tempers are just going crazy, and we need to calm this down.